All right, fellas. Little bit late, little behind schedule this morning, but we are here. We are ready to go. Um, Fantasy football, do or die, probably for a lot of you guys. I know myself personally, I'm up against it to make the fantasy football playoffs in my home league. I know, many of you guys are probably trying to secure a bye week. A lot of you guys may be trying to avoid a loser punishment potentially as well. Hopefully, you're not in that boat. You're in the first two categories, but sure, definitely good luck this week, and we will get right into all the questions that you guys have.
For sure. Just making sure. Yeah, that lineup set. Okay. First question comes from Domain. What up, boys? Happy football Sunday. Would you go with Deshaun or Goff today? I do actually believe I have Goff one spot higher, so let me double check that. It's probably nice if I'd get these rankings real quick out. Who do you
Yeah.
have higher between Goff and Watson?
Watson and Goff, that's actually pretty close. I like
I have them
Watson
back to
quite a
back.
bit more than I think consensus probably does. I actually have Goff a little higher though, so I would
Same.
roll with Goff.
Where do you have Watson higher than consensus? You said.
I have him at 10.
Oh, okay. I have him QB 13. So I have Goff at 12 and Watson at 13 with only Trevor, Kirk, and Gino. Though I could potentially lower Trevor because of the toe. But I mean, I have him at 9 right now.
Yeah,
And
I'm
obviously the
configuring
top 8
mine
is
around
pretty
a little bit.
the top eight's pretty easy. I mean, Kyler Murray, Dak, and up, like it's like pretty set in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to rotate back to our normal roles, or should I go top to bottom and you go supers?
I don't know. You can grab the super there. It's only when shit gets lost, when somebody gets nuked out of the chat, that
Gotcha,
it screws up for me.
Okay. Super here from Brandon. Appreciate that. He says flex Ayuk or Chark full PPR supposed to rain in San Fran today. Thanks. Is it actually supposed to
Is
rain
it actually
hard?
supposed to rain, dude? I have the over in that game, for fuck's sakes.
I have Christian McCaffrey and Debo in that game.
Yeah, I also have Samuel too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on the bright side,
I
at
guess
least
Debo's gonna get carries, so he might not be the worst guy to have.
well, I was just gonna say on the bright side, at least like if they're gonna throw the ball, it's probably gonna be a very low ADOT game. So if that's the case, I mean
that's true.
Debo Samuel and Chris McCaffrey.
Debo might be one of the only receivers in NFL history to benefit from a rain game.
I would probably still go with Ayuk, but I actually don't mind Chark this week. He's a top 40-ish type of wide receiver for me, but I just think like if you bench Ayuk and he does have a good game, like you're gonna kick yourself more than if you start Ayuk and Chark does better, if you will.
Yeah, it's
You know what I'm saying?
it's tough because like I actually really like Chark this week,
I
but
do
it's
too.
hard. It's hard to play him over a guy like Ayuk, who's been so much more consistent target share wise. Like Chark's really only good game this year has come last week in a revenge spot against his old team. It's a great game script, great game environment though. So, oh man, that's close. That's a really gutty decision. I'd be cool going Chark if you want to play it.
Yeah,
Maybe not
upside.
safe, but like go for the upside play.
Yeah,
I would say is probably Chark given the game environment and the weather in San Fran. I don't envy you with that decision, to be honest.
agreed. Got a couple more supers. One from LOL. Josh Allen or Tua start today. Dub gets me second. I would still go with Josh Allen. I mean, you need your superstar in the clutch to get you that second place. And I mean, no better superstar at the quarterback position than Josh Allen, except for Jalen Hurts this week for me.
Yeah, there's actually nobody I would ever sit Josh Allen for. Like,
Well, I do have Hurts over him this week.
Right. But like, if I had, you're not going to have Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen.
No.
Most likely. But like, there's pretty much no scenario in which I sit Josh Allen under any.
The only possible way you may have that combo is if it's a dynasty league and you took Hurts in like the second round before.
Yeah, maybe it was a one quarterback dynasty league. Then you might have that problem. In which case, I would probably sell one of them.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Another super here from Cameron. He says Rashad White or James Cook, PPR 1 point per first down. Well, with the news that Leonard Fournette is actually expected to play, it got released, I believe, this morning or last night. Leonard Fournette's expected to play, and with that, I think I would lean James Cook, given the game.
White, not a chance.
Even with Leonard Fournette back.
100%. I'm not totally ready to buy into James Cook's usage yet. Like it was one game, and it definitely matters to some degree, and it makes me want to play him as like a flex play, but I'm not going to play him over.
Where do you have him ranked?
Because I know so I saw Deepak's tweet today. He said Fournette is likely going to play, but usually we see like a workload scale back in the situation with the injury that he's dealing with. So I'm imagining we're going to see a 60-40 Rashad White type of game. And it's a bad matchup, but if it's bad weather, it's, point per first down. He is the more efficient of the two running backs usually too. So
Yeah, like if
I think I'd prefer White slightly.
if White's going to get a majority role, I'm fine with that. But he's still going to be like that low end RB2, high end RB3. He'll probably be right above Cook if he's expected
We
to
can
get
throw that one down if you want.
I mean, like it's all dependent on the workload for Fournette versus White, though, and I'm just not going to bet
You're not
on.
going to bet on. You don't want to.
I'm not going to bet on a coach's decision.
Yeah, that's fair.
Again, like I think White's more volatile in that aspect because we don't necessarily know the workload. But you can argue that on the same side with James Cook, like he had his breakout week, but
exactly,
is Devin Singletary going to get more involved now?
Well, the other thing too is like Buffalo was beating New England decently handedly too. Like there's a possibility that that's why he was more involved. And I mean, this game could be, it's their 10-point favorite again. So it's possible that they win this game handedly as well. But I don't know. The Jets are just a better team. So I think they're probably going to keep it close.
That's fair. And at 1 point per first down, I don't mind going with White.
Yeah, that's a tough call though.
Definitely. I got another super chat here from Alfredo. Appreciate that. Standard flex, Mike Williams, Michael Gallup, or Zay Jones. Mike Williams is someone I don't know where to put in my rankings again. He's going to be in the number one here, but like, let me see here.
I would play him over both of those options, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, here.
I actually forgot to adjust him, so I gotta find him in my rankings.
That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm doing this on the fly. He will be my wide receiver, probably 27 to play it safe this week because we don't know.
I have him at. I just moved him to 25. He was practicing in full as soon as Thursday. It's a good game script, a high over under. I think I would rather play him over guys like Ayuk and like Juju and Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Gabe Davis types. But if you're talking like Mike Williams over Marquise Brown, Jerry Jeudy, or DJ Moore, I'm going to play those other guys.
Agree with you there, but we are all caught up on super, so now we can skim through this chat.
Yeah. Juju, Deontay, or Judy. I mean, I have all these guys rated similarly as I just mentioned. Judy is actually the highest that I have here, given that Sutton is out, and we expect probably Denver to have to throw a decent amount in this game.
I have them in order: Judy, Juju, Deontay.
Yeah, I actually have them like almost back to back too. I have Judy at 22, Juju at 25, and Deontay at 28. So they're like 3 apart within each spot there.
I feel like at some point we might make a Deontay bet.
Probably. I'm not like super like 28 this week is not 28 most weeks. Like,
and I'm saying that like I have him way lower. I have him at 32. I have him
there's no receivers this week. Like there's no receivers. There's 6 teams on bye. Sutton, both Texans wide receivers. Like there's a bunch of receivers out too. So
yeah, it's actually a mess.
It is a mess. Who should I start for flex option? DK Metcalf, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Deontay Johnson, and Kenneth Walker. So I'm probably going DK Metcalf there. Those options. It's a tough matchup. He's going to see shadow coverage from JC Horn, but I'm expecting Metcalf to still be just fine.
I have DK at 13 and Garrett Wilson at 16 as the next closest.
I have Metcalf at 8, I think. Right.
Really?
Now. I have him pretty high. Yeah. I have him.
I mean,
we got there's some tough matchups in that area because, I mean, I have him higher than. Just given potential game script with the Cowboys game, I have them higher than Lamb. I just don't think they're going to have to. Plus, the
I will bet you
are
that
much
right
more
now.
of a run funnel defense. I think the Cowboys get up early, get up big, and they just trounce them. And opposing number 1 receivers, by the way, 11.5 PPR points per game the last 4 games. Cooper, Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, and Tyreek Hill were those 4 receivers.
I'll still bet that.
All right, let's do it.
I have Lamb at 7 this week.
Yeah, I mean, if they get up big, it's possible that Lamb is part of why they got up big.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't think they're gonna have to throw a ton, and unless Lamb is the guy who gets involved early, then I think there's a possibility that there's not a lot of throwing opportunity in this game. Plus,
that makes sense.
Very good against wide receivers too.
Oh yeah, it makes sense for sure.
What up, Farmer?
Yo, what's up, Farmer? We got a super chat here from our Gravy. He says half PPR, Bam Knight, James Cook, or Latavius Murray. PPR, Foreman, or James Cook. So for the first one, I have it in order: Bam, Murray, Cook. I think I have Bam at my running back.
Cook, eh?
I have Bam at running back 17 this week. I have Cook at running back 22.
You have him a lot higher than me then.
Really?
I was the Bam Knight guy too.
I don't know. I just don't see Michael Carter coming back and taking a number 1 role. If anything, this is going to be a 60-40 type of thing. And when I was breaking down the usage of Zonovan Knight, I mean, this is a guy who's had, I think it was 37 opportunities in the last 2 weeks, including 4 targets per game. So if he's getting that type of workload, I just have a hard time even in the matchup seeing him not pay off as an RB2.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Carter should be playing this week, correct? He
Yeah.
should be active.
Yeah,
So
he's been banged
that
up.
gives
He's
me a
missed
little
practices,
trepidation
so
with Zonovan Knight, which
makes
is
sense.
probably why I'd rather go James Cook, but that's pretty close.
They're close, yeah, honestly.
We can
They're
bet
all
that one if you want.
honestly, I like James Cook, so I don't want to bet that.
All right,
They're
fair.
all in the same area. Like, and I don't mind Latavius too. Like, he's been a genuine 70% snap share, like 55% opportunity share type of guy so far since Melvin Gordon's release. So they're all in that like running back 2-3 type of fringe tier for me this week.
Also, fun fact, in my rookie rankings for the running back for the NFL draft, I had James Cook and Zonovan Knight back as my RB 6 and 7, I believe it was.
Big W, big W.
Yeah.
Got a super from Toronto Dave. He says, no question, Toonie for the boys. All love. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate
Love
that.
to see the Canadian shout outs from Toronto
Amen.
Dave out here.
Let's go. Another super here from Trojan. He says, what up? We trusting Barkley today or pivot to James Cook? Now we're trusting Barkley. Like,
I'm trusting Barkley.
Yeah, the neck is a little bit concerning, but I mean, just from workload alone, like, you know that if Saquon Barkley's in the game, he's going to get 20, 25 plus opportunities. We're hoping that James Cook gets that. And as much as I like James Cook,
we're hoping that James Cook gets 15,
running back for me.
to be honest.
Yeah. Opportunities.
Yeah, we're hoping he gets 15. That's like the number we'd want.
If he gets another 15 plus opportunity per game or opportunity game, I have no problem ranking him in my RB2 range rest of the season.
Yeah, he's going to be a guy that'll be interesting for like Best Ball Mania. If he starts to have like a big,
I have a lot of James Cook.
I do as well, and he'd be a guy that if you can advance, is obviously going to pay off big in that.
I feel like this week for me could be a flipper for a lot of my teams because I haven't really checked on how many I'm advancing, but I just know that all the players that are starting to peak now are guys that I have.
Oh, dude, I advanced a crazy amount of Deontay Johnson and like Michael Pittman and Elijah Moore, guys that haven't worked out as good picks. Same with Keenan Allen too, because I just drafted a ton of those players and they haven't necessarily worked out. But if they can get to the final weeks and have big weeks, that'd be huge.
By the way, my apology there, our Gravy. He had actually a second part to the question with Foreman or Cook.
In PPR, give me Cook. Foreman's basically 0 in the game.
I agree with that. In a half, though, it would be Foreman, but in a full, yeah, give me James.
Yeah.
That's close, though.
Yeah. We good on supers?
Yeah, we're good on supers for now. My apology there.
Yeah, no worries. Would you start Garrett Wilson over ETN or Barkley today?
No.
I think I probably would just roll with those two running backs. ETN's got a really, really bad matchup, though.
He's got a really bad matchup, but the workload has just been so fucking good that I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, I think last week he scored like 7.5 PPR points. And that was on 81% of the snaps, 69% of the routes. It's just because the Jaguars got absolutely fucking blown out. And I mean, speaking of the Jaguars, because we may as well transition into it because it was brought up, but you can bring on the yep.
Underdog pick of the week.
Yeah, big underdog pick of the week. I am going with the Jags money line versus the Titans this week. Sharps are all over the Jags this week. Titans haven't looked like the same team. And let's be honest, like the Titans were a team that were peaking at the right time, are a very well-coached team, but realistically, like blow for blow on their roster, you could argue that the Jaguars are a similarly talented team, if not a more talented team. Obviously, the issue here would be Trevor Lawrence's toe, but realistically, I think this is a big get-right spot. Played a peaking Detroit Lions team that blew them out of the waters last week. I think this is the game that the Jags come back, though. The only pause for concern here is Mr. King Henry on the other side, but I do think that the Jaguars have a really good shot in this game. 2.5 point underdogs. I think they win straight up outright.
Speaking of the Jags, I think why they're going to win is because of my going nuts Manscaped player of the week. Christian Kirk is the guy that I think is going nuts. 20 plus PPR points today. It is dead. The Titans are dead last against fantasy wide receivers and adjusted fantasy points allowed. And not only that, their slot corner has been their worst corner on their team also. So I think with Christian Kirk, you're probably he's been like a red zone weapon and like a PPR guy. I think we're going to get one of those, vintage Christian Kirk games from earlier in the season. He's also been much better in easy matchups than he has against like hard matchups, like when he played the Broncos and stuff. Like some of his worst games of the year have been against tough defenses. So again, you guys know the drill with going nuts. Let me know if he goes for 20 plus PPR points, how many points is that worth to me? 1, 2, or 3? Is that and 3 being the most ballsy call on my part, 1 being like a relatively safe projection kind of thing. So 1, 2, or 3, throw it down in the chat if you guys want to. Back to the comments. Go ahead there.
Yep. First super chat here from our Gravy. Appreciate that. He says Deontay or Juju worries about Higgins as a decoy. So for the first question,
Higgins as
Deontay
a
or
decoy?
Juju? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not
mean, he
worried
was
about
limited
him.
in practice a little bit this week, but I think he should be fine.
Agreed. And I would go with Juju over Deontay, but I mean, if you have that flip, then we can bet on it.
No, I have Juju over Deontay as well.
Okay. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah. Never would have said that in Pittsburgh, for sure. When they were
everybody's saying 2, by the way, so you can jot down 2 next to Christian Kirk's name.
I figured it'd be a 2 down the middle.
I
hit Metcalf, the one going nuts point 2 weeks ago. I hit Metcalf for a big game, but I missed Deontay Johnson. Could have had a huge game the other day against the Falcons. He just dropped a touchdown and a wide open like crossing route that could have led to a touchdown if he made somebody miss. But anyways, I'm not bitter.
Shout out Garrett Wilson for getting it.
Yeah, no kidding. Who should I start at flex 1 and 2? I have White, Cooper, and Evans full PPR. I'm assuming that's Rashad White.
Yeah, I would go Evans over White.
I think Cooper is your main one, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The only problem though is that Cooper is going to be on a pitch count apparently today.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said. He was a game time decision coming in with a hip injury, I think it was, and they said he's going to be on like some kind of snap count this week, which is a little sketchy.
Yeah.
I think I would still start him over both
of
these guys though.
Yeah,
even on a pitch count.
I would agree with that.
And if the weather is bad, I think that makes your decision easy. You start White and Cooper.
Yep. No, I'd agree with that. We got another super chat here from we have another super chat here from Kaiser. Appreciate that. He says pick 2: Godwin, ETN, Swift, Cooper, and White. Must play a running back. So if you must play a running back, I do actually have Swift as my highest rated running back this week as my running back 8. In terms of the other options, I might actually just go double running back with ETN and Swift.
I'd like to know the scoring format of this league. If this is full PPR, I'm playing Chris Godwin over ETN.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't mind.
The weather makes it a little tougher as well. I think the safe play, given the weather concerns, are probably the 2 running backs. But if it's full PPR and maybe you look into the weather and it's not too bad, I'm actually going to look into it right now just so I know for future reference. But Godwin has been he has 7 out of his 8 games. He's a full pitch count. He has 10 plus targets in. Like that's insane. He's getting 10 plus targets. He's getting like a Cooper Kupp from last year level target share in terms of how many targets not target share because they throw a lot, but targets per game.
He's earned a ton of volume, yeah, for sure. Aren't you guys still leading the league in passing volume? So,
dude, we throw like 48 times a game. It's insane. Probably not that much, but like it's a lot. It seems like 48 times a game. If the Bucks were as efficient as they usually were, and the reason, by the way, if you guys are curious why, if you're like, why are the Bucks so bad on offense? It's because Brady doesn't want to take big hits, and our offensive line can't hold up for deep dropbacks. That's why we look like we do, and that's why there's a bunch of running back targets. And Evans isn't as good as he was last year, and Godwin's not getting targeted down the field or anything like that. It's because they don't trust the interior offensive line to be able to hold up, especially with Wirfs being out recently too. On the outside, like it's too hard to have a 45-year-old quarterback drop back and take hits.
You know what it reminds me of, right? Do you remember in week 1 when we played you guys last year and Cowboys knew, okay, our interior can't really match up against the Bucks interior, so we're just going to supplement the short passing game as our running game. It basically seems like what you guys have been doing because you have not been able to run the ball at all. You'll run it on early downs, but when you actually need like run yardage, if you will, because your runs aren't going to gain more than like 3 to 5 yards, you've been supplementing those quick passes. I mean, Chris Godwin is still one of the best quick passing type of weapons in the entire NFL. Just get him the ball in his hands, let him make someone miss after the catch. And I mean, he's
starting to be able to do that now since he's been healthier. At first, it was like he was kind of like Cameron Brate targets. It was like, he'd catch like a 7-yard pass and fall down because he had no like explosiveness in his knee. But now he's able to kind of make some people miss and run after the catch a bit more.
For sure. By the way, Kaiser did say it was full PPR, so it's going to be the weather indicative. But I mean, if you want to play it safe,
I just looked it up. It doesn't look too bad. It's like light showers, not like a thunderstorm or something like crazy.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't mind leading Godwin, but I'd probably prefer ETN and Swift to mitigate risk.
Yeah, that's fair.
Got a couple of supers here. One from Core, Rashad White or James Cook, and Deebo Samuel or Devontae Smith. Full PPR must win. Thanks. So for question, I would go with Rashad White slightly still over James Cook. They're really close, but I mean, realistically, we don't know how Fournette's going to look. I believe it was a foot injury as well, right?
Fournette. It is a midfoot sprain, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which, I mean, for a running back, change of direction means a lot. If your foot's literally inhibited, I'm assuming that they're just going to rely on White. Don't really see a big workload coming underway for for Leonard Fournette if he's dealing with that type of injury.
Yeah. There's the weather. I'm just looking at the weather again. It's like not the wind is fine, but like the precipitation is like 50%. And it's supposed to rain from like 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is when the game is on, unfortunately. So,
For sure.
yeah, I definitely downgrade your Buccaneers wide receivers a little bit.
And then I would go with Debo over Devontae Smith. So
that's tough though, because the Giants offense has such an easy matchup. And if the weather is bad in San Fran, like I said, I mean, Debo might be the more immune of the two between him and Ayuk and Kittle and stuff. So I'm probably going to go Debo there as well, but I wouldn't blame anybody if they wanted to go Smith.
Agreed. I'm also biased because I have Debo. I'm literally like not playing for much anyways because the guy who's in first should win, and even as long as he wins, he's going to clinch first place. So
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I just want to have the most points for because we get an extra $100.
Yeah.
Our gravy, another super chat. Appreciate that. Underdog Jetta's over 94.5 receiving. Swift over 60.
That on the wide receiver video. I think that's a lock.
Yeah, no, I agree. Swift over 63.5 total yards. Deshaun over 26.5 rushing. That's a little spicy.
That is spicy. Well, I don't know how much Watson ran last week, but I mean, typically that would even be spicy for his Texans day.
Yeah, I'd agree. Waddle over 64.5 receiving yards. I actually really like that. And Pierce under 83.5 total yards. I think that Pierce under 83.5 is a lock. I don't know how.
I like the Waddle one a lot too, given the game environment there, and he's been back in practice this week.
Can we explain right now how there's a discrepancy right now of 20 yards between Dameon Pierce against the Cowboys, where the Texans are 17-point underdogs, versus Swift over the Lions, where they're 2-point home favorites? And I mean, speaking of, we may as well just get right into it. My lock of the week. Let's fucking roll that shit. My lock of the week this week. One that the public is going to disagree with because they're going to look at the records and going to be like, well, how the fuck are you locking in an underdog or not an underdog, but a home team that has a 5-7 record who's favored over a 10-2 team? But that's exactly what I'm doing. It's the Detroit Lions -2. They have been the better football team in the past few weeks than the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota has actually been the worst defense in the entire NFL since week 10. Meanwhile, with the Lions, as soon as Swift got fully healthy, as soon as this offense got reactivated, has been averaging 32 points per game over their last few games. And the way this offense is playing, the way the Minnesota Vikings defense is playing, again, I think it's going to be close because, I mean, the Vikings keep every fucking game close for the most part, apart from the 2 losses they've had this year. I just don't see a way that the Lions lose this game. They've looked a lot better. They are still in playoff contention. If they win out, they still have a chance to make the playoffs, especially competing with the Giants and with the Commanders. And I think the big reason why they are going to win this week, and we can transition straight to my going nuts, it's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 20 PPR points. Lock it, forget it, throw the key away. I don't care what you do with it, but Amon-Ra St. Brown has one of the biggest mismatches in the entire fantasy football landscape this week, going up against that overmatched Vikings defense, the way they've been playing in recent weeks. Heck, they made the Patriots offense look somewhat suitable. 26 points on that Thursday night game on Thanksgiving. I think Detroit's going to go for 36.
Yeah, man, that matchup's just so easy for the Lions passing game. I think they're probably going to have a field day. If they were able to hang 40 on the Jags, like the Jags defense is pretty bad also, but it's not as bad as the Vikings, which is pretty crazy to say. I'm going to just transition into my lock of the week real fast too. Danny's not going to like this, but I'm strictly taking this. This is a process versus results take. The Texans are 17.5-point underdogs. That's way too many points in the NFL. I'm like, that's a college football spread. Like, in college football, good teams blow up bad teams by 50 points. In the NFL, some teams get blown out, and the Dolphins blew the Texans out by like, a decent amount a couple weeks ago. But 17.5 points when, any given Sunday, any NFL team can win, or, maybe the Cowboys get up early and they pull the starters and the Texans backdoor cover that. I don't know, man. I just think it's too many points to be giving up in the NFL. So I'm going to go with the Texans plus 17.5 for my lock of the week in terms of against the spread. I personally threw some money on it. I was just like, I feel like more often than not, you get a 15 plus point spread. It's probably likely to hit the underdog.
Well, I don't mind that because I mean, realistically, even if the Cowboys win 31-14, you guys, you make that bet. Like you
Right.
win that bet.
And that could be
right? So
24-0 in the first half. They pull their starters at the end of the third quarter and they backdoor cover with some garbage time touchdowns.
also, by the way, Brock, I figured that the ARSB call would get a lot of ones because I
That's
mean,
a one. That's
realistically,
a one.
it's
For sure.
100%
He's like
one.
literally my
Yeah.
wide receiver 5 this week.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm up 2 right now. I hit a single, Monter St. Brown, very safe projection. So I said, why not?
If we both, for what it's worth, if we both hit this week, if your Amon-Ra hits and my Kirk hits, we will be tied at 3 points each. Right now,
oh right, yeah,
underdog picks of the week. I'm getting screwed. I'm 0-3. Danny is 2-1 on me on there. And then my locks of the week, we are both 1-2. I got the Eagles -4.5 against the Titans last week. You got the Cowboys -1.5 2 weeks ago. And Danny actually picked the Titans +4.5 last week, head-to-head against me, which was not an ideal pick there. So let me go back. I think we have another
for the
super
jugular
down there somewhere.
Yeah, we got one more super here from Edit. Pierce versus Dallas or White versus the Niners, full PPR. I will go with Rashad White here. I just don't think that as much as Bush is going to back the Texans covering, he doesn't even think that Dameon Pierce is going to get involved realistically. Like they're implied for 13.5 points. And you get a 2-down back that, sometimes he'll have a few targets, but realistically is not a big force in the passing game. Has been not virtually, but increasingly more inefficient in recent weeks now that defenses realize, hey, listen, Nico Collins has been banged up. Brandon Cooks has been banged up. What is their only source of offense? Oh, it's that guy in the backfield, number 31. So let's just key in on him. And we've seen the results. I mean, he's been an RB3 type in the last few weeks, especially with those 2 wide receivers out. So I don't like the Texans offense as a whole. I don't like Dameon Pierce as a whole this week. He's a workload dependent RB3 in my opinion this week.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce's workload is typically something that you can trust, but that's only when the Texans are close in games. And I think it's possible that they're going to keep this one close, but I don't want to bet on it considering that Vegas thinks it's going to be a blowout and most of the sharps think it's going to be a blowout as well. 67% of the money is on Dallas actually covering the spread too. So it's possible that this game is not all that close. And the Cowboys probably of most teams in the NFL have been the team that have blown out the most teams, I would say. Like if you look across the league,
they step on the jugular.
Does each team have? Like the Dolphins have blown out a couple teams for sure. The Bills have blown out a couple teams. They blew out like Titans and a couple other teams. But the Cowboys, when they played a really bad team, have actually, kind of done the Lords and just blown them out.
Yeah, it's been funny, and that's also why I'm still like optimistic about the Cowboys offense or passing offense this week. Because even if the running offense gets going, I just think, the Cowboys aren't going to see 31 points on the board and think, oh, you know what, maybe we should let off. Like, no, like if they smell blood in the water, they are like sharks, and they will try to put a 50 burger on you. I mean, just ask the Colts last week.
What would you do in our tone setters league? Would you play Ayuk given the weather, or would you play Jamal Williams in the flex?
Do you play me?
I don't. It doesn't even matter if I lose this week because I've locked in the one.
I'd probably go Jamal.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Jamal.
Well. I haven't even told you my real decision in my home league. So I have Burks out, right? So I have one more flex spot I got to fill. Would you put Isaiah McKenzie in that flex spot, or would you grab Devontae Parker off of waivers, knowing that you get a Monday Night Miracle potentially, and Jacoby Myers is out for that game? It's possible that Devontae Parker is like the number one receiver.
Devontae Parker.
You're big against Devontae Parker. Dude. He's got 4 games this year with over 80 receiving yards. He's actually been like relatively decent as like a boom bust guy.
I mean, I'm not playing Devontae Parker.
Even despite Jacoby Myers being out.
No.
Okay. So you go McKenzie in that spot?
Yeah. By the way, Christopher, it didn't show up at first, so my apologies. Protein Shake, appreciate that. Marvin, JJ, or Corey Davis have Kirk.
So he already has Jones Jr. Kirk, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So that's I thought it was Marvin Jones, Justin Jefferson for a second, so I zoned out.
Who's JJ? Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I'd probably go with Corey Davis here.
Yeah, I probably would as well. Corey Davis is like fantasy oatmeal, but I'd probably play him.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And my apologies there, Christopher. It didn't show up at first.
All right. Are we caught up? Because I got a
couple more. Can
King
you answer a question I
Marcelo.
put in chat? Yep, it's right below it. Need 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex PPR, do or die. Debo, Godwin, Marquise Palmer, George Pickens, Peoples Jones, Saquon. Not sure if I can trust for do or die. Foreman, Pacheco, or Jamal Williams. So I mean, Saquon's going to be one of the running backs
Yeah,
regardless.
and the other running back for me is probably
Foreman.
Jamal Williams.
Foreman.
You'd rather play
Yep.
Foreman over Jamal? Well, I'll take Jamal Williams versus Foreman in a bet.
Yeah, I'm worried about the workload because he had 30% of the snaps last week with Jamal.
I got a 50-point over under. I think he punches 2 in.
Yeah, potentially could.
That's
I
what
don't
he
mind.
has to do, obviously, to hit. But I think he can do it easily.
I don't mind making that bet. Also, it's so funny that we've literally flipped roles where you're betting on Foreman and I'm not. Also,
I'm betting on Williams. You mean?
Or Williams? Yeah. By the way, side note,
the
Devontae
3
Parker
receivers here. Let's answer his question here first. Debo,
Yeah.
Godwin, and Marquise Brown are the 3 receivers, right?
Yeah.
What about the flex? Is Palmer the flex, or do you start Pacheco over him?
Or
do you start the other running back, the one that
go the other running back that you don't start with Foreman and Jamal?
So you would start those guys over Pacheco as well? Yeah. So Saquon, Foreman, Jamal, and then Marquise, Godwin, Debo. Although I don't know, man. I'd consider starting Palmer over one of those running backs if it's full PP. It is full PPR. Foreman's pretty much useless in full PPR. I don't.
He's got an insane matchup, and although they are, I believe, 2.5-point underdogs, a lot of the sharp money is actually on the Carolina Panthers winning straight up.
Really? I actually considered making them my underdog pick of the week.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Speaking
of the Chargers and the Panthers and almost picking them as my underdog pick of the week, and actually Gordo says my upset prediction of the week this week is Browns beat Bengals.
I don't mind that.
Chiefs, Lions beat Vikings. Lions are not an underdog, so that's not an upset. But my underdog pick of the week is the Chargers on Sunday Night Football beating the Dolphins, because the Chargers, probably since week 1, are going to have Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Josh Palmer all healthy on the outside with Austin Eckler. So I think we're going to get a lot of points in that game. And I actually think that the Chargers are probably more equipped to play shootout against the Dolphins pass defense than the Dolphins are to put points up against the Chargers, because Chargers have actually been relatively good as a pass defense. I think they might be able to hold Tyreek and Jalen Waddle in check a little bit.
Yeah, I don't mind that as well. I do think it's going to be a high scoring game, but yeah, the Chargers are a good team in their own right. I mean, Justin Herbert, although people somehow want to criticize Herbert, like, is this a new trend where people are just like, yo, Herbert's a social media quarterback. He's over.
He's saying like his absolute ceiling is like Detroit Lions, Matthew Stafford. I'm like, you guys are fucking high.
He's already a legitimate top 3 to 5 quarterback in the NFL.
At no point in Stafford's career was anybody saying he's a top 3 to 5 quarterback. People were like, he's a top 10 to 12 quarterback most of his career.
And the thing with Herbert, right, is people already know, like, he's got a fucking rocket arm and he's mobile. Like, we get that. Like, he's looks like he's made in a fucking lab. But he's legitimately one of the smartest quarterbacks in terms of post-snap recognition, understanding defensive disguises, understanding coverage floats, and he is the most accurate quarterback outside of maybe Patrick Mahomes in the entire NFL. Like, I have never seen a quarterback like with that level of arm talent, that level of velocity on every single one of his passes, be able to skip over hanging defenders the way he does. It's remarkable. Like, his placement on some of his passes just make no sense. And I still remember there was that one play against the Chiefs when they played Sunday Night Football, right?
Yeah.
There was that one play where Keenan Allen was completely fucking locked up, like completely. And Justin Herbert saw, okay, Keenan Allen's a smart enough receiver. He's going to understand the defensive leverage here, and he's going to get to this spot before Keenan Allen even knew he was going to do it. Justin Herbert rolls out, fucking dots him up for that touchdown, and Keenan Allen just comes out of nowhere, separates at the last second, and you're thinking in your head, like, how many quarterbacks, not to mention, not only would make that throw, but would even attempt that throw? Like, we're talking about a 60-yard fucking air yard type of throw, understanding that your receiver's going to recognize what you're doing.
You know what's crazy about that? That type of throw gets 3 GMs fired subsequently for reaching on a quarterback that can make that throw. Like, that's the type of arm that Herbert has, that he directly caused Zach Wilson to go second overall, because Zach Wilson can make that throw too, but he doesn't have the intangibles, the intelligence, all the stuff that Herbert has, because people will fall in love with like a layered throw to the second level of a defense, because it is a very difficult throw to make, but it's going to get other GMs fired when you have a quarterback like that. They're going to see your quarterback make that throw and want that guy.
Especially with the quarterback in college that can currently make that throw, saying that he doesn't see Patrick Mahomes doing a lot of stuff that he can't do. Did you hear about Caleb Williams when he won the Heisman?
He said that,
He said he understands why he's getting comped to Patrick Mahomes, because he quite literally said, I don't see stuff that Patrick does that I don't think I can't do.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
The
fucked.
kid's got a lot of confidence
Like,
by the
yeah,
sound of it.
you're talking about a 19-year-old kid that's like already like has that level of fucking like
Yeah.
confidence. It's like, yeah, there's a difference between confidence and cock, by the way. People might see that comment and be like, oh, he's cocky, he already thinks he's more. I'm just like, no, like you're talking about a second-year starting college quarterback that understands like I got a lot of physical gifts here. I see stuff on Sundays that people rave about, but I actually feel like I can do. And I think he's proven to the point where he can do a lot of stuff that normal quarterbacks can't do. So if he has that level of confidence, obviously you still got to keep level headed. You still got to, attack the game the right way, grow mentally. But I mean, I like seeing my quarterback have confidence, even if that's not the, quote unquote, media expectation for what
I
a
think
quarterback
people
should
like
sound
seeing
like.
that. They love it with Joe Burrow, and I mean, when Baker was good, they liked it with him. But yeah, thoughts on the Seahawks. Let's rip through some questions here. Thoughts on
We
the
got a
Seahawks
couple
backfield?
supersets. We got a
Okay,
couple
go
supers.
ahead.
So one flex, Rashad White, Bam Knight, Pierce, or Cooper. I would go with, I think,
White.
yeah, I would go with
White
Rashad
bias.
White with Cooper banged up. Yeah, that's fair. Another super from AJ. Appreciate that. Starting CD and Pollard, Zeke or Hollywood in the flex. I actually really like Zeke this week, but if you're starting Pollard, I don't mind mixing in Hollywood here because like you don't want to defeat your own upside.
Yeah, and
But
the other thing too is we know what the Patriots do. They take away your best weapon, and that
yeah,
weapon is DeAndre Hopkins. So we could see a lot of Hollywood.
yeah.
This
Though
week.
I will say, like, I know this sounds kind of cringe, but I wouldn't be shocked if both Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott were top 10 running backs this week.
Dude, I think Zeke was like the RB13 in ECR or something like that. They had him so high. I was like,
I have my RB 15.
I do not have him that high. I have him.
Where do you have him?
Or no, I do have him that high. I have him at 15 as well.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I was about to play a bet with you. I'm like, okay, but no,
I gotta
you know
Pacheco
ball.
down. For some reason, I thought I had Pacheco lower.
Oh, all good. Here, let's smash some of these comments.
Yeah.
We kind of got sidetracked a bit.
Yeah, we did. Thoughts on the Seahawks backfield? I have Travis Homer at 26, but I'm not really confident.
Tony Jones
in him.
getting the start.
Is that reported?
Confirmed. Yeah.
Really? Tony
Yeah.
Jones. That guy stinks.
He's awful.
So what you're probably going to get then is Tony Jones is like your typical 1 and 2 down grinder, and Travis Homer is going to be like a mixed in on third downs and maybe some early down work as well. Like I would probably say these guys are like low end flex plays at best. Like you don't want to be starting these guys ideally. Like I would rather start, Gus Edwards, Kareem Hunt, Devin Singletary, like Leonard Fournette than these guys. Like I'm not really too high on this backfield to begin with.
Yep.
Still like Swift over ETN in full PPR. Yes, I do. Which defense would you guys start today? Titans versus the Jags or the Steelers versus the Ravens?
Steelers.
I think that Steelers-Ravens game has like 10-6 written all over it. I don't think we're getting any points in that game. So I'd take Steelers defense there.
Agree with you.
That under is a lock in my opinion. It's like 39. I think it should legit be 34 points, like the over-under in that game.
Speaking of it, give me Watson in a 6-point.
Yeah.
I actually don't even mind Tyler Huntley as a streamer this week.
I started the week liking him a little bit, but then I realized that this game is going under at like guaranteed. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think that
I'd be willing to stream him as a fringe top 15 level option in 4-point leagues. And 6-point, like I doubt that he throws for a touchdown. More so the stream would be like, oh, he rushes for 75 yards. Oh, he maybe bangs in a rushing touchdown. Like I don't think he's going to pass the ball extremely efficiently. Got a quick super here from Bobby. Need 2 PPR. Singletary, Deontay, or Latavius Murray. I think by process you have to sit Singletary here.
Yeah, I think the workload's a little too shaky with him.
Agreed.
And PPR, I mean Deontay Johnson's typical stat line will probably come out today. 10 targets, 5 receptions, 45 yards.
I was about to say 46, so we're close.
Yeah, his classic stat line.
Dude, he loves doing that. Why has he just become Jarvis Landry overnight? What happened?
Dude, you know who he is? He's Jacoby Myers.
Okay, All right, let's fucking get these.
Gino or T-Log. Give me Gino there, Brock. Hit the like, smash the sub, and pound the bell. Yes.
Appreciate
Next week, I'm going to, so on Monday, tomorrow, I'm going to do a rest of season rankings, but just for the fantasy playoffs. So if you guys want to tune in for that, that'll definitely be fun, like the tier list way I've been doing it all season. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to do like 3 to 5 strategies that will help you take home your championship during your fantasy playoff. I did a TikTok about it a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to kind of refresh that and do it in a little bit more of a long format. Brady or Dak, I feel that the Cowboys are going to run the ball the whole time. Yeah, I think the Cowboys probably are going to run the ball the whole
It's
time, but I
Dak.
would still start Dak over Brady.
It's Dak. We're talking about the quarterback that's been better performing this year, who has a much easier matchup given the implied total.
Yeah, from the implied total standpoint, if Dak misses, that will be why, because they ran the ball the whole time, but you don't know that for certain.
Yeah,
And
you gotta
Brady
go
is
with
not
the
a good
implied
enough
total.
option like if it was Goff or Dak and you were like, I think the Cowboys are going to run the ball the whole time, I wouldn't blame you for pivoting at that point, but not with Brady. Brady's just not in a good spot.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm actually going to move Goff ahead of Dak now because now that I think about it, I would start him.
I'll do that bet.
You want to go Dak over Goff?
I actually don't even mind Goff this week. I have him relatively high, but I just
What about Cousins? Would you start Cousins over Dak?
No.
I have Dak. I think I would legit start both guys over Prescott this week.
I have Dak at 7, Kirk at 10, and Goff at
I think I got to put my money where my mouth is. I think I might have Kirk in our listener league on my bench, and I have Dak in my starting lineup right now.
Oh, I don't want you to forfeit points like that.
Oh, I don't even have him. Never mind.
No, wait, is it the listener league Patreon draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Go for it.
I play you. This week. So Dak or Tyler.
You got to do it now.
Nah, I'm not. I don't even have him. I thought I did.
Oh,
Dak or Tyler Huntley. Give me Dak Prescott there.
Wait.
Miles Sanders, Hopkins, or Metcalf. Pick 2 from those 3. You're sitting Sanders.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that, but I thought you did have Dak. You do.
I have Dak, but I don't have Cousins.
Oh, right. Okay. Got a couple supers here. One from Jacob here. DJ Shark or Tony Jones, non-PPR, need a dub. Thanks. Non-PPR makes it more interesting, but I'd still go with DJ Shark because of the big play upside in that game.
Yeah.
Hector, good morning. Pick 1 flex option: Hollywood Brown, Latavius Murray, Raheem Mostert, and Jerick McKinnon. Thanks.
Mostert.
I was gonna say Mostert. I thought you were gonna disagree with that.
Between Mostert and Hollywood, it's really 100%. Close. But I
game
think
environment.
Mostert's usage, the game environment, the point total that we're expecting in that game. Patriots good ass pass defense in general. It's possible that the Cardinals just struggle to score points. I like Mostert a little bit more, but I think Hollywood is also a fine start. And you didn't say if it was full PPR. In a full PPR format, like literally flip a coin.
Yep.
If it was half or standard, I would definitely go with Mostert though.
Side note, I have 3 guys in my home league team playing on Sunday Night Football with Gerald Everett, Raheem Mostert, and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Another super here from Seth. Appreciate that. He says Homer or White and Homer or Jamal Williams, 2 different leagues. I'm going with the opposite of Homer in each of these. I'm assuming you agree.
Yes, I would as well. I feel like I want to go down with my own decision here on my home league. I think I'm going to start Devontae Parker over Isaiah McKenzie.
Devontae Parker over Isaiah McKenzie. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
I think I'm going to do it, dude. Because number 1, it gives me hope on Monday night.
Fair.
Number 2, it's a toss-up decision anyway. Number 3, Devontae Parker runs way more routes than Isaiah McKenzie does. And number 4, Jacoby Myers is out. And number 5, the Jets are a really tough matchup, and the Cardinals are not.
Yeah.
So I think I got a couple of reasons why I would want to do that.
By the way, side note, you mentioned earlier 4 games of 80 plus. It's actually 4 games of 60 plus. So
sorry, that's what I meant. But he has a couple games of 80 plus as well. And he had a 150-yard game earlier this season too.
Wait, so go back to the chat after this, but we even got chat chiming in.
Bush don't. I got some Devontae Parker like.
Don't
feelings.
do it, bro. He's garbage.
I got a sense for it.
You know he's got.
I don't know. What do you guys think, McKenzie or Parker?
He's got 11 targets.
McKenzie or Devontae Parker?
He's got 11 targets in his last 4 games.
Who?
Got hurt one of them, but fair. Devontae Parker. He got hurt one
Parker's
of them.
only played like more than 80% of the snaps like 7 times this year, and in like 4 of those games he had 60 plus yards.
Yeah.
He hasn't been great, but neither has McKenzie. McKenzie's had games where he's been on the field for like 35% of the routes.
Everybody's saying McKenzie.
All right, fine. I'll play McKenzie. I just want the Monday Night Miracle. That's like the only reason I want to do it. Is because I want to be down like 9 points going into my playoffs, and Devontae Parker catches a bomb touchdown, and I get to freak out.
Yeah,
but if Parker hits, I'm gonna be mad at all of you.
Hey, we're getting a couple Parkers now. We're getting a couple Parkers, but then Brock's like, bro, it's Devontae fucking Parker.
I know. Also, we are extremely behind. I apologize to you guys. We have gotten to barely any. Like we're at like 11:55 a.m. and it's 12:50 right now. So like we're not doing the greatest job, I would say, at the moment.
We got a super chat here from Brett. Yeah, I apologize. A lot of tangents today, but full PPR, Zay Jones, Pickens, Rashad White, or James Cook. So if you can start only one of these guys, I would go with Rashad White. I'm assuming you agree there, Bush.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yep. Phil says Barkley or Bam Knight. Give me Barkley there, Phil.
Yeah, easily Barkley for sure.
Yes, sir. All right, let's try to get a few down. Like if we can get caught up a little bit, I'll be happy.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna do 3, and then I'm gonna click 3, and then you're gonna say the answer. Okay.
Okay.
Give me Deontay Foreman there, Omar. Should I play Saquon? Dayball didn't sound too confident in the workload. It depends what your other option is, but I'm cool playing Saquon as a top 15 guy still.
Yep.
T or Christian Kirk in the flex. Give me Christian Kirk.
I have T a little bit higher.
Yeah, give me T Higgins a little bit. But I don't know if we heard an official thing saying that T Higgins is going to be limited or on a pitch count. If they said that, then play Christian Kirk, but otherwise go with T Higgins. He also has Homer and Wilson to back up Saquon. I would probably just stick with Saquon at that point. James Smith says James Cook, Greg Dortch, or DJ Chark. Give me James Cook there.
Yep.
And then I'll give you 3 in a row here while I step.
Since WK3 is unlikely to play, flex James Cook, McKinnon, or Gallup. I'd go with James Cook here, but Gallup's not too far behind given the implied total, but I'd go with James Cook. Half PPR, DJ Moore or McKinnon. I would go with DJ Moore there, Matt. Zonovan Knight or James
against your brother.
Zonovan Knight or James Cook rest of the season. I think from a process standpoint, you're going to have to go with James Cook because of it's a better offense. James Cook was a better prospect, second round pick, finally getting a workload, 20 opportunities in his last game, including 6 targets. You're chasing that running back 1 role, especially with somebody who's shown that he can earn targets in that setting. So I like James Cook rest of the season.
Dude, you know what I just realized? I have Zonovan Knight on my taxi squad in our listener dynasty league, and I'm gonna play him this week because you'd play him over fucking Leonard Fournette, right?
Yeah.
I just realized he was on my taxi. I totally forgot I even had him.
Dude, I have Jameson Williams on my taxi in one of my leagues, but I'm tanking.
I have so many buys in this league this week. I have like Justin Fields on buy. I have Alvin Kamara on buy. I have a couple other dudes on buy as well. So I'm kind of just screwed for this week. But I need to win this week to secure a bye week, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm at 10-3 right now. And if Nate wins, then I'll have to win also.
Side note, dude, in one of my home dynasty leagues, get this. So I scored 18.3 PPR points on Thursday night, right? The Raiders versus Rams game. 18.3 points from 3 players. Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins, and Derek Carr combined for 18.3 points in a PPR league.
That's brutal. I played Foster Moreau and Devontae Adams in our Tone Setters league, and they combined for 10 points.
Ugh, gross. All right.
So that was fun. Devontae Smith or Ayuk as wide receiver 2. Give me Devontae Smith there. Which 2 to start in full PPR? Devontae. Okay, so Devontae would be the wide receiver 2, and I would play Swift as the other one there.
Agree with you.
Watson or Kyler? Give me Kyler Murray there, probably, given that he's got all of his receivers back. Chiefs, Steelers, or Seahawks? Give me. I want the Steelers.
Chiefs defense.
Who do they play? Oh yeah, Denver. Fuck yeah, give me the Chiefs.
They're 10-point road favorites.
Yeah, that's insane. Happy ARSB and Gary. Dude, it's always ARSB blow up day. What do you mean? That should be a 0.5 pointer for Danny. He picked a top 5 receiver this week. Guy's projection on sleepers probably.
Hey, I'm just aiming for a single, baby. I'm just aiming for a single.
Yeah, that would probably be like in high. Like that'd be like me going, "Oh, Justin Jefferson's going nuts this week." Like, get out of here.
The other, honest to God,
we should make like a no Jefferson rule.
Hey, honest to God, it was so our stream started at 12. It was 11:56. I'm like, who the fuck am I gonna make my going nuts? I'm like, okay, I can't look down this list right now. I don't have time to think about shit. Let me just go with someone I know is gonna get 20.
Yeah.
Typically, I'll be more creative.
Say this, but I could play Elijah Moore over both Isaiah McKenzie or Devontae.
Just go McKenzie.
I am already playing Garrett Wilson too, so there's probably no point.
Yeah.
That, I thought I'd have an easy pivot. I was like, oh, if Burks is out, I'll just play Nico Collins, but he's out too. So brutal. Who to start at wide receiver and flex between? Oh yeah, we already answered that.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson or Pacheco standard? I'll take Pacheco there in standard.
Andrew comments, ARSB pick should be a 0.
Yeah, you should lose a point if he doesn't get it. Keenan Allen or T Higgins full PPR. I'll take T Higgins there slightly.
Oh, that is like back to back of my rankings.
I have Higgins, Christian Kirk, and Keenan Allen back to back. And somebody asked earlier Christian Kirk or T Higgins too. So they're literally
I have
14
T,
for me.
T at 11, Keenan at 12 for me.
Yeah.
Let's get
What lads? Cooper a lot. Given Cooper's injury, I'm going Lockett there. Lockett, I almost made my going nuts pick this week. I think he's going to have a fucking monster game. I have a bet on his alternate receiving yards.
I have Lockett as my wide receiver 15 this week. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have him. I also have him 15. Yes. Ty Johnson player.
What?
Is that a Correa player or Josh Kelly?
Wait, what? You don't know Ty Johnson?
Who's player?
Where are you seeing player? I see Ty Johnson, Spiller, or Kelly.
It says player on my screen.
What? Screenshot this and send it to our chat. I need to see this after the stream.
Are you sure you see Spiller?
On my life, it says Ty Johnson, Spiller, or Josh Kelly.
It literally says player on my screen.
Screenshot that and send it to the group chat.
Ty Johnson would be who I would go with, though.
What the fuck? I need to see that.
Anyways, morning, half PPR, Bam or Homer.
Bam.
I'll go Bam night there, Johnny. Start one running back and one flex, Ramondre Etienne. Ramondre is my running back there.
Yeah,
and then Etienne is the flex for me there.
Yeah. Everybody's like, we all see Spiller too.
What the hell? It says player on my screen. Half PPR, start two, Bam, Deontay, Zay Jones, Kareem Hunt. I'll go with probably the first two there. Bam and Deontay.
Yeah, you probably have to. Full PPR.
Bam and Pierce are the two I'm going with there.
Yeah, agreed.
Palmer, Jeff, Wilson, Homer, or Knight. I'm going Knight there.
Yeah. Coming like a thief.
Any likely 10-team waiver wire options that you'd like better than Zay Jones today? Probably not, to be honest. I think Zay Jones
not
is
off my head.
Play. Would you play, given that Zay Jones came in questionable, would you play Chark over him?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, if Palmer was available, I'd probably play Palmer over him too.
Yeah. Though I'm a little bit worried about Palmer with Mike Williams back.
If Deontay might be on your waiver wire too.
Probably.
In a 10-teamer. Good morning. Pick one. Flex spot. Mostert, McKinnon. Yeah, Mostert's the guy I'm going with there. Watson or Cousins. I'm taking Cousins there by a hair. Need one flex PPR or non-PPR. Sorry. Damian Pierce, Bam Knight, James Cook, or Travis Homer. Tony Jones starting over Homer. I would play Bam Knight there slightly, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, so it's 12:58. I'm going to get one more question in, and then apologies for those of you guys that we didn't get to. We will probably try and speed through them a little better next time. But start two of Jeff Wilson, Dobbins, or McKinnon. I'm going to go Jeff Wilson and McKinnon probably. I don't trust
McKinnon's the floor pick. Dobbins is the ceiling pick here.
Yeah, I just don't trust Dobbins yet, to be honest. Not his first week back.
No, I get that, but at the same time,
I advanced a couple Dobbins, by the way.
Really, W.
So yeah, if Dobbins has a good closing stretch of the season, he could definitely pay off for me finally.
Dobbins dub?
Yeah, in one of my let me read you real quick before this is over. My Superflex puppy that has like a bunch of points on it has Dobbins on it. So my best Superflex puppy team is like extremely high scoring right now. And it has Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold as the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And it has Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins, and Alex Madison as the running backs. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Cooks, Christian Kirk, Tyler Lockett, Michael Gallup, Jahan Dotson, and James Washington, who's coming back this week. So he's going to give me some points. And then I have George Kittle, Tyler Higbee, and Hayden Hurst as the tight end. So it's a pretty damn good team.
Dude, there's no way fucking Emmanuel Ocho released a fucking song titled Social Media Quarterback. You can't be serious. You can't be serious.
That's kind of funny. I'm not even going to lie.
Official song, and it has hashtag fins up.
That's funny.
All right, sorry. I had to fucking react to that because, like, what the fuck, Ocho? But either way, I appreciate you guys for tuning in the last hour or so. Again, sorry, apologies if we did not get to your comment. Feel free if you have any, 4 p.m., 8 p.m., or Monday night decisions. If you want to reach out to us on Twitter, Discord, or Patreon, we will be able to answer your questions there. But until then, good luck in your matchups. Hopefully you guys clinch whatever you need to clinch, whether it's a bye week, whether it's like Bush said, a playoff spot, or, you don't want to wear a dress to your home bar. But
yeah, and I will be clinching my butt so that I make my playoffs this week because I will be nervous. But in true Canadian fashion, I managed to apologize a lot this live stream. So take it easy, fellas. Good luck.
Take care. My Cowboys against the Texans.